Okay, but good afternoon. We have today with us the Riverboat Rascals, right? And with us today is Bob Romans, their music director. Bob, thank you for being here today.
It's all right. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's Christmas. And the kind of, first of all, how did the Riverboat Rascal came about
Well, the Rascals started about 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago this May. When the San Joaquin Dixieland Jazz Society in Stockton asked me if I would start a youth band.
With the same people?
Yes.
I see.
Most of the same people.
Okay.
The personnel has changed slightly. But my wife and I are both teachers in Lodi Unified School District. And so we get to kind of skim the cream.
And you have musical background. That's how you were asked to do that.
Yes, I have a Dixieland jazz band, and I go out to the schools and play assemblies, etc. And hopefully we started a little interest in Dixieland jazz, and when I called some parents and told them I wanted to start a Dixieland jazz band through the San Joaquin Dixieland Jazz Society, they all supported me 100%, and they're the ones that carry them around and pay for their instruments and pay for their lessons and do all the phoning and calling and so forth.
That's great. And what kind of music they play? Popular tunes?
Dixieland
or
jazz.
Okay.
Just Dixieland jazz.
All right. So would you like to introduce them very briefly, and then I'll walk out and I can let them play? So we'll start maybe with him.
Okay. Why don't we just let them say their name, okay?
Go ahead.
My name's Jose Amata, and I play trumpet.
My name's Casey Jones, I play cornet.
My name's Julie Michelson, and I play banjo.
My name's Boyd Wooder, I play the keyboard.
My name's Dee Dee Ratto, and I play the saxophone.
My name's Steve Carson, and I play trombone.
My name is Becky Ornelas, and I play drums.
My name is Gary Summerfeld, I play the drums too.
My name's Kendra Armstrong, I play clarinet.
My name's Doug Waters, and I play clarinet.
My name's Leslie Gray, and I play the clarinet and sing.
My name's Tim Schuiker, and I play the trumpet, or tuba.
My name's Fred Garrison, and I play sousaphone.
Okay, then I'd like to thank you all for being here, and I'm sure we'll have a great time with you, and Merry Christmas to all. So let's walk out and play. Thank you.
One, two, one.
Thank you.
2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
At old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square, all the drinks were served just as usual, and the usual crowd was there. Right by me sat old Joe McKennedy. His eyes were bloodshot red. He turned to the others all around him, and these are the words he said. I went down to St. James Infirmary, saw my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so bare. Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she could search this whole wide world over, but she'd never find a sweet man like me.
That simple phrase has been said in every language on earth, for Paris is easy to love.
Invaded by the armies of many nations, Paris has a way of conquering her invaders.
It's been one of the great walking towns of the world since the legions of Julius Caesar marched into Gaul to find a Celtic tribe sitting on an island in the Seine, a tribe who called themselves Parisi.
Since then, the city has been besieged by Attila the Hun, by English and Normans, by the Axis and the Allies. But life in Paris always goes on. The newest army of occupation is made up of happy visitors from every far-flung corner of the globe.
We come for the food.
We come for the fashion.
Nightlife, the entertainment.
The art.
History.
The shopping.
Paris is not just a city, Charles V wrote. It's a whole world. Parisians will tell you that if you sit long enough in a cafe on the Champs-Élysées, you will see everyone in the world pass by on parade.
All this has made the Parisians charming, yet cynical. And provided visitors don't interfere with their daily lives too much, Parisians are more willing to share their city because they wouldn't live anywhere else.
Paris, you need to hear the music and the laughter.
To touch the history and the art.
To taste the menus of Paris and smell the wonderful odors spilling from the kitchens with specialties from the cooking pots of every province in France.
Most of all, Paris must be seen. The sights of Paris, the boulevards Baron Haussmann built for Napoleon. They say Napoleon ordered them wide so he could sweep them with cannon fire if the mobs of Paris got out of hand. It made a beautiful city.
Paris cafes at sunset with brightly colored awnings. Brilliant lights from the Arc de Triomphe rising lighted at the top of the Champs-Élysées to the floodlights of the Bateau Mouche throwing their golden light on the great gray stone buildings along the Seine.
Late afternoon rush of cars and taxis along the Rue Royale and the Parisian pedestrians waiting for their chance.
Trim Paris police in stiff caps and blue uniforms move the cars along with amazingly even tempers. The parade of sleek ladies on Rue Faubourg Saint-Honoré.
The posh restaurants make window squares of golden light, the white cloths and silver gleaming on the tables.
The waiters starched into snowy shirts framed in black tuxedos.
The golden windows of the pricey jewelers of the Place Vendôme. In the center, the great column, styled after Trajan's column in Rome. The buildings, uniform in style, are fine examples of Louis XIV's urban architecture, designed by Mansart. Paris is a mecca for perfume lovers, with scent shops on both the left and right banks. There are smart Paris umbrella shops, glove shops, scarf shops with piles of printed silk, and the designer boutiques, the classiest labels known to the fashion world.
Contrast the evening quiet of the Tuileries Gardens and the lunchtime excitement at the Relais and the Plaza Athénée. There is no more important subject with the Parisian than food. Here, just outside one of the 7 gates, in the wall that surrounded medieval Paris, is a typical French restaurant. To be a waiter in France is serious business. To the French, the waiter is a friend, a guide, a counselor. To watch a Frenchman eat is watching a master at work. The gesticulating table chatter over aperitifs comes to full stop. Conversation continues over a tiny cup of very strong dark coffee. French restaurants consider the patron's every need. They discuss his diet. Frenchmen are constantly on a diet. Not a diet to lose weight. That would be cruel. By a diet, they mean what to eat.
Voici le filet de rouget barbelé, ainsi que le tourne-dos à la croûte au pou. Je vous souhaite un bon appétit.
You would need 3 lifetimes to sample all the menus of Paris. The city has restaurants representing the cuisines of every nation on the globe. In Paris, it's possible to eat your way around the world alphabetically.
But France is for French food. There are gastronomic temples, Xemes with its elegant decor.
Small local bistros.
Brasseries, which serve a more elaborate fare than the cafes, which derive their special flavor from the differing neighborhoods of Paris.
And of course, the ever-present fast food chain. Fresh shellfish are displayed outside the restaurants under canopies that read huître, which means oysters. The raw fish is served on trays of ice, a popular late-night dish.
French regional cookery can be found all over Paris. The garlic and saffron-scented bouillabaisses of Provence, rustic pork dishes from the markets of Auvergne, and foie gras, liver of fattened duck or geese. Cassoulets of beans and meat from the southwest, sauerkraut and sausage specialties from Alsace-Lorraine,
and caviar imported from Russia, a fine companion for a glass of French champagne.
The French are passionate about food.
And about romance. Wherever you go in Paris, the skyline is dominated by the Eiffel Tower. It was built between 1887 and 1889 and was intended to stand for only 20 years. It's made of 12,000 pieces held together by 2.5 million rivets. When it was complete, the public complained loudly that it was the worst piece of architecture ever put up in steel. Notable figures at the time, including Guy de Maupassant, signed petitions to have it melted down for scrap. You reach the 3 viewing platforms by elevator, or for the young and the strong, by 1,652 steps, and that only takes you to platform 1. Everyone takes an elevator to the top. The views at various levels are spectacular, and best about an hour before sunset. On a clear day from the highest platform, you can see for 40 miles. The Eiffel Tower rises 1,051 feet above the ground and weighs 7,000 tons. If you go to the highest platform on a windy day, the breeze can blow your beret all the way to Belgium. The Eiffel Tower was saved in 1918 because of its value as a radio transmitter, and since 1957 to send television signals. It's now the best-known monument in France and the symbol of Paris.
After the Eiffel Tower, the most renowned structure in Paris is the Arc de Triomphe. Napoleon ordered L'Étoile and the Arc de Triomphe, built in 1806 to honor the Imperial Army. The Triumphal Arch is emblazoned with statues commemorating his victories: Valmy, Jean Maps, Lodi, Pyramides, Cole, and Rivoli, to name a few. It took 30 years to complete and is now known as the Place Charles de Gaulle. Under the arch, the tomb of the unknown soldier. The eternal flame is rekindled each evening at 6:30. Take the elevator to the museum inside. You can climb the last few steps to the top, 164 feet above the ground, and have a magnificent view of Paris, all her monuments, and each of the avenues spinning off L'Étoile, the star.
We're looking at the most famous 2 miles on Earth, down the Champs-Élysées between 2 triumphal arches. The walk from the Rond Point, to the Étoile is now largely commercial. Its cafes are filled with Parisians and visitors dawdling over a pastry and a café crème, or sipping a liqueur and practicing the fine Parisian art of people watching. Continuing down the Champs-Élysées, we come to the Avenue Montaigne, an elegant shopping area. Be cautious. Prices here can melt a credit card. Further along another fashionable street, the Rue Faubourg Saint-Honoré, a narrow winding street that passes by the President's Palace, police headquarters, and embassies, in between exclusive boutiques.
Hundreds of heads fell here to Dr. Guillotine's invention. The Place Concorde is dominated by the obelisk, which originally stood before a temple in Luxor 2,300 years ago, and was given to Charles X, the Viceroy of Egypt, in 1829.
Side of the entrance to the Tuileries Gardens stands the Orangerie Museum with a collection of masters including works by Picasso,
guard the entrance to the gardens of what was the Palais des Tuileries, part of Catherine de Medici's grand design. The gardens were designed by Lenotre, the famous architect of Versailles, and throughout are statues from the 17th and 18th century. The palace was used by Napoleon III as apartments for himself and Empress Eugenie until it was destroyed by fire in 1871. At the bottom of the Tuileries, on Avenue General Lemonnier, stands the only relic of the palace, the Arc de Triomphe du Carrousel. Built in 1806 and modeled on the Arch of Septimus Severus in Rome, it honors Napoleon's 1805 victories in Italy. The bronze chariot group and figures on top of the arch are by Bosio.
Until you visit the Louvre, Parisians won't let you leave town. It's not a national treasure, it belongs to the world. Construction of the Louvre Palace took place over 3 centuries, from 1527 to 1827, and it continues today. It's already possible to spend a lifetime studying the extraordinary richness and variety of the collections here. The world's largest temple to art and antiquities. The most famous artifacts here are the Winged Victory and the Venus de Milo. Masterpieces of classic sculpture in the Greco-Roman department, and in the Salle des Bijoux, displays of jewelry found near Pompeii. There are departments of Egyptian and Oriental antiquities, sculpture and graphic arts. But the Louvre is most famed for having the largest collection of paintings in the world. The work of Flemish, Dutch, German, English, Spanish and French masters, Rembrandt, Watteau, Velasquez, Greco,
Leonardo da Vinci. All visitors come to see this famous lady.
A fairly recent addition to the Louvre is the Musée de la Mode, Fashion Museum. For the fashion industry, Paris is ground zero. Each year, chic and startling fashion innovation spills onto runways from the design rooms and workshops of Paris. Triumphs of past collections are displayed in the Musée de la Mode, with contributions from fashion notables such as Madame Grace.
The Paris Underground, the metro, is one of the city's marvels. The French are not timid about placing their most valuable art treasures in the Louvre metro station. There are priceless works of art in stone, marble, gold, and bronze, some in display cases, others simply out in the open. There are maps in every station, and they're easy to read. Tourist passes for 2, 4, and 7 days are available and are good for unlimited travel while valid. 17 metro entrances were built around 1900 by Hector Guimard, the most important architect of the time. The metro stations have gone from Art Nouveau to moderne.
There are new modern buildings, foam and glass and stainless steel. Réal, once the famed produce market of Paris, served onion soup each morning to people who partied through the night. Réal is now a popular shopping center, but you can still find a table at an outdoor cafe. Parisian suburbs. There's the vast new port of Gennevilliers. And new satellite towns have been built, including a new business district called La Défense. There are expressways along the banks of the Seine. Yet the vitality and old world ambiance in the heart of Paris is still the same.
Hackies of New York. You approach the cabbie at his parking station. He immediately puts a protective hand over the back door. He asks what direction you wish to go. He says, I'm going the other way. Look for another. The drivers have their dogs riding shotgun in the front seat. The Paris cab driver is proud of the valorous tradition of the taxi cab army that defeated the Germans outside Paris in 1914.